What's up, crypto fam? Welcome back to the Crypto Breakdown Layer 1 Whiteboard mini-series. In today's video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about the Elrond blockchain, aka EGLD. All of my whiteboard videos are broken down into sections and timestamps are listed below. Feel free to skip ahead at any time. In part 1, we're going to do a deep dive into the Elrond blockchain. In part 2, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Is the Elrond blockchain team really taxing users interacting with their ecosystem? And PS, this one's gonna blow your mind. In part 3, we're gonna do a deep dive into Elrond validators and dig a little deeper into the 10% Elrond protocol treasury tax. And in part 4, we're gonna make some Elrond price predictions and figure out where the price of Elrond is headed next bull run. But before we dive in, everything stated in this video is just my opinion. Nothing stated in this video should be taken as I do not advise that you buy, sell, trade, or hodl any cryptocurrency. You should always consult with your own financial advisor before making any investing decisions. And links to all the research articles and credits are down in the description. PS, who wants to enter my $100 Elrond New Year's giveaway? Drop a comment below and let me know where you think the price of EGLD will be at on January 1st of 2023. All guesses must be submitted by December 1st of 2023. Whoever guesses right closest to the penny will win $100 worth of Elrond. Ready? Let's dive deep. And let's kick things off with who are the founders of the Elrond blockchain. According to this blog by MORIOH.com, Elrond was co-founded in late 2017 by brothers Benjamin and Lucien. Prior to Elrond, Ben and Lucien also co-founded Meta Chain Capital, a digital investment fund. Ben serving as CEO and Lucien as Chief Technology Officer. The two also co-founded ICO Market Data, an aggregator of information around initial coin offerings. Ben was also responsible for product, marketing, and community for blockchain platform NEM from 2014 to 2015. In addition to being an early investor in projects such as Zilliqa, Tezo, Brave, and Binance, Lucien has additional experience as an information technology engineer and security specialist. Now let's talk about what is the Elrond blockchain. According to Elrond's website, the architecture overview of Elrond is as followed. Elrond is a high-throughput public blockchain aimed to provide security, efficiency, scalability, and interoperability beyond the current state-of-the-art blockchains. The two most important features that set Elrond apart are adaptive state sharding and secure proof-of-stake consensus mechanisms. Elrond completely redesigned the blockchain architecture with the aim to achieve global scalability and near-instant transaction speeds. Elrond's architecture rests on the following key innovations: adaptive state sharding on all levels, transactions, data, and network. The dynamic adaptive sharding mechanism will perform shard merging and shard splitting while taking into consideration both the number of available validator nodes and also network usage. Secure proof-of-stake consensus completed in just 2 communication steps using modified BLS multi-signatures among the validators of the consensus group. Moreover, nodes inside the shard are randomly selected for the consensus group with no possibility of knowing the group's composition more than 1 round in advance. Elrond claims that their blockchain is highly resistant to malicious attacks due to the periodical node reshuffling across shards. In every epoch, up to 1/3 of the nodes in every shard are shuffled to the other shard in order to prevent collisions. Secure randomness sourced with BLS signing, which makes it non-biasable and unpredictable. The Elrond WASM VM, an exceptionally fast virtual machine for executing smart contracts written in any programming language that can compile to WebAssembly. Next up are smart contracts on a sharded state architecture with balanced loads on shards. This is a requirement for high throughput blockchain platforms. Balancing smart contracts across shards allows Elrond to run multiple SCs in parallel, while the cross-shard calls are handled by an asymmetric cross-sharded execution process. Fast finality for cross-shard transactions in mere seconds. Having a high TPS is required for a high throughput blockchain solution, but TPS is only half the picture. Fast finality for cross-shard transactions is crucially important. Most existing state-of-the-art blockchain architectures refuse to mention this aspect, but from a user standpoint, it is extremely important. Fast cross-shard finality is naturally handled by Elrond at the protocol level, using a dispatching algorithm and routing protocol. Now let's talk about how the Elrond blockchain is secured. Elrond's approach for consensus is called Secure Proof of Stake, aka SPOS. It innovates in the manner in which validator nodes are selected for consensus out of a shard, and also in the steps taken by the validator to complete the consensus process as efficiently as possible. Let's take a look. SPOS selects validators for consensus using a randomness source that can never be predicted nor influenced. It is surprisingly simple, requiring only to be calculated from the previous block and to be signed by the consensus leader of the current round, also known as the block producer. The resulting signature will be the randomness source for the next round, and due to the resilience on the immediately processing block, it cannot be known more than a round in advance. In each round, a new consensus group is selected to propose a new block, but only one validator in the group will be selected to process that block. This is the validator in the consensus group, which has the hash of the public key, and the randomness source is the smallest, numerically. The block producer will produce the block for the round, and the rest of the consensus group will validate and sign it. The time necessary for randomness selection of the consensus group is exceptionally short, around 100 milliseconds, often less. This efficiency is a consequence of the fact that consensus selection is deterministic once the randomness source is known. Thus, there is no communication requirement. This is a huge security advantage to having rounds this short. SPOS is built on the premise that a misbehaving actor cannot adapt faster than the time frame allowed for a round in order to influence a block that will be proposed. Like other POS staking methods, SPOS selects validator nodes for consensus based on the amount of EGLD tokens staked by their operator. Additionally, each validator has an individual rating score that is taken into account. Stake alone may only influence, but not completely determine the selection for consensus. Ratings express the past behavior of the specific validator and taken into account during consensus selection. Validators with a higher rating are more likely to be selected. The rating of a validator is recalculated at the end of every epoch, with a few specific exceptions when rating is adjusted immediately. This way, SPOS promotes meritocracy among validators, encouraging their operations to keep them running smoothly. So let's take a step back really quick. As of today, a fully sharded blockchain network has yet to be achieved. Many projects, including Zilliqa and Near Protocol, are both working towards building a fully sharded blockchain. The main concern I have is the fact that on paper, it may sound like a great idea, but until the blockchain hits a $25 to $50 billion market cap and there are thousands of dApps built on top of the blockchain, you really have no clue if the blockchain is actually going to hit scaling limitations. On paper, aka in the white paper, every blockchain has solved the blockchain trilemma, but the most recent censoring of blocks by the Ethereum blockchain and the fact that the SEC is now claiming that they have full control over the Ethereum blockchain leads me to believe that proof-of-stake blockchains are going to be a lot more centralized than we think. Gary Gensler is single-handedly destroying innovation, and he seems to be on a mission to destroy every crypto project that did an ICO. So if we swing over to ICO drops, we can see that on the 2nd of July of 2019, the Elrond blockchain did an ICO or IEO, whatever you want to call it, and they raised $5.15 million. During the ICO, 20 billion coins of Elrond were pre-mined. According to Messari, Elrond Tokenomics were as followed. 19% of coins were sold to private investors, aka VCs. 25% were allocated to the IEO, which is the initial exchange offering, aka VCs. 7% were allocated to ecosystem rewards. 8.5% were allocated to marketing and growth, also controlled by the team. 2% to the community fund, also controlled by the team. 2.5% were allocated to advisors, VCs handpicked by the team. 19% were allocated to founders and the core team. 17% were allocated to the Treasury Reserve. When Elrond initially launched, their ticker was ERD. A total of 20 billion ERD tokens were initially distributed on July 4th of 2019. After the launch, Elrond did a ticker change and a token reduction of a 1000x. These 20 billion ERD coins were reduced to 20 million EGLD coins. Wow, is that not insane? From the looks of it, the Elrond team gave themselves 46.5% of the initial pre-mined supply, and 46.5% of coins were sold to VCs. And then on top of that, Elrond has a 33% inflation rate over the next 7 years. According to Messari, ongoing emissions, aka staking rewards. Elrond features staking rewards to incentivize validators and delegators to participate in the network. Network contributors can increase their relative share of the overall tokens that they hold by helping secure the network. Elrond will have a minimum guaranteed reward amount per year that decreases annually. This inflation rate should reach zero by the 11th year post mainnet launch. The hard cap on EGLD's annual insurance means that Elrond must organically grow its free market over the next decade to pay validators for their continued contributions. And here is the part that really blew my mind. According to Messari, the protocol treasury makes 10% of the validator rewards and 10% of the fees that are collected by people using the network. The role of the treasury is to ensure the sustainability development of the Elrond ecosystem. So that 46.5% of coins that the team pre-mined and gave to themselves wasn't enough. Now they are taxing validators 10% and they are taxing people using their ecosystem 10%. Not only that, when a new proof of stake blockchain launches, running validators is not something the average person can do without being assisted by the team. So that means that when a new proof of stake blockchain launches, a majority of validators are ran by the team and VCs, which is most likely why the price of Elrond is down 85% from its all-time high that it put in on November 23rd of 2021 at $540. By November 3rd of 2021, the Elrond blockchain had already paid validators 2,769,432 coins of EGLD. If we take 2.796 million and we times that by 540, we can see that the team and VCs running those validators could have potentially sold $1,510,073,280 worth of EGLD tokens and dumped them all over retail investors without needing to sell any of their initial investment. That means that the 10% tax that their team was charging, or their quote-unquote treasury is making, would have been worth $150,007,328. And yet they still continue to tax people who are using their blockchain, and they continue to tax the people running validators, and the validators are the most important part of any blockchain. They are the people who are securing the blockchain. Think of validators just like miners in proof of work. I mean, holy shnikes. Talk about the rich getting richer. Imagine if Satoshi were to take 10% of every Bitcoin that was mined. And to top it off, you need at least 2,500 coins of EGLD to run a validator. When EGLD was around $540 at its all-time high, retail investors would have needed to purchase $1,350,000 worth of Elrond just to run a validator. And this is one of the main reasons why proof-of-stake maxis like Michael Saylor say that the only thing decentralized about a proof-of-stake blockchain is the word decentralized. We just saw the SEC force the Ethereum devs and node operators to start censoring transactions. That is why I say that investing in proof-of-stake blockchains at this point is the highest risk investment you can make. In my personal opinion, proof-of-stake blockchains are an extension of the cancel culture world that we live in. I think proof-of-stake blockchains outside of Cardano are designed to make the rich filthy rich at the expense of their users. Point in case, Elrond is taxing people using their blockchain 10%. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you. And keep in mind, this could be all subject to change. Maybe this already changed. I don't know. Based off the research I did, this is the data I was given. Links are all down below in the description. So if we plan to take profits next bull run, we need to calculate in EGLD's inflation rate. Over the next 5 years, EGLD will have released a total of 30,507,014 coins out into circulation. As of today, EGLD has a market cap of $1.34 billion. If we take the market cap and we divide that by the inflated supply, we can see that the price of EGLD is actually $44.06, not $57.10. Now let's talk about some EGLD price predictions. So if you invested in Elrond today and the price of Elrond is $44 and the market cap is $1.35 billion, I always round to keep it simple. For you to 2x on that investment and for the price of EGLD to hit $88, the market cap would only need to be $2.7 billion. For you to 10x on that investment and for the price of EGLD to hit $440, the market cap would need to be $13.5 billion. For you to 20x on that investment and for the price of EGLD to hit $880, the market cap would only need to be $27 billion. and for you to 100x on that investment, and for the price of EGLD to hit $4,400, the market cap would need to be 135 billion. My best guess, not investing at BYBIT, would be 8 to 10x price point, around $440, market cap $15 billion tops. If you want to learn more about the only layer 1 blockchain in history that's actually solved the blockchain trilemma, check out my layer 1 blockchain whiteboard mini-series. Do it now. Please and thank you. Like, share, subscribe. Good vibes always, crypto fam, and I'll catch you in the next one.